Hey G-Fans, GojiFan93 here, and I got another top list for you. This one is the top 5 toughest enemies Godzilla has to face. I actually got this idea from, and also a request by Plutonium2356, one of my subscribers who is really awesome because he is constantly giving me comments and support like that. So, thanks, man. Without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, before we start the video, I forgot to mention, this video, I wanted to try and do it unscripted. So when I'm talking about the entries, it's just going to be me trying to, just me talking off the top of my head. Just because, I don't know, I just think it'd be just more freer to do it that way rather than to have a script to read from. So, hopefully it'll be better. I don't know. If you guys tell me if I should go back to doing a script or not. So, alright, enough with that. Here's the video. So to start our list, I picked Hedorah because it's hard to explain how tough he was. One, Godzilla has to fight basically just this this blob kind of character, and Godzilla gets his hand totally, I don't know if it was like acid or something, but it hits his hand and it totally dissolves part of his hand. You can actually see when you watch the movie his hand's kind of bony, and that had to hurt like hell. And then he totally knocks Godzilla out with this gas, I don't know what, and it makes him all dizzy, and then he falls on the ground. And then he just Hedorah goes on top of Godzilla, then drags him to this ditch and basically, drops him in there. And then it's very gross, but he basically just shits on Godzilla, and this sludge just goes into this dip and just starts covering Godzilla in this muck. And basically, and it's mean too because he just laughs. He just laughs while it's happening. So that's pretty much my my 5th entry for the tough enemy. Alright, so for number 4, I picked Gigan. Now, the Final Wars version of Gigan obviously was not tough for Godzilla at all. But in Godzilla vs. Gigan, he roughed Godzilla up. He starts by doing this attack where he just goes up in the air and just keeps on pummeling Godzilla again and again. One, I don't know why Godzilla doesn't get the idea that he's going to come back and hit him, but there's this part where he gets him with his buzzsaw and literally makes Godzilla bleed from the shoulder or something like that. And holy shit, seeing Godzilla bleed like that, that's gotta suck. And he really beats him up. And not only that, but then when it comes to the time where Gigan when Godzilla goes towards the Godzilla Tower, I guess, in the amusement park area, and that thing starts beating him up too. And then when that tower finally stops, just destroying, shooting the laser at Godzilla, Gigan comes over and decides to kick him even more, kick him while he's down too. And then this part, which is actually to me is the worst thing that Godzilla's had to go through, is Gigan's just constantly hitting him in the face, more in the forehead, and making him bleed from the forehead. So that's what to me was super tough, because Gigan didn't even give Godzilla a chance. And even in this battle, he also sliced Angus's face, although Angus was kind of a dumbass anyways in the first place. But so this is pretty much my 4th entry, Gigan. Alright, so for number 3, I picked Mechagodzilla, the Showa version, because when I was a kid watching this movie, and the way that Mechagodzilla beats Godzilla up is just ridiculous. Not only does he shoot all of his weapons at Godzilla and just fucking destroys him that way, but then he starts flying and starts shooting him with his laser beams in the neck and literally makes him spurt out blood. It's the most horrific thing I've ever seen, that it literally makes Godzilla just start bleeding out from the neck. And I mean, he just nonstop pounding on Godzilla, making him bleed, making him fall on the ground. He's bleeding from the mouth. He's bleeding on the chest. You know, I mean, he recovers from it pretty quickly. But to me, I mean, damn, that was tough. I mean, just Mechagodzilla in general is a tough enemy, anyways, because it's exactly like Godzilla, but you know, a robot with like all these other kind of weapons on him. So, yeah. Well, that'd be my pick for number 3. Well, at number 2 on our list, I have Megaguirus. I chose Megaguirus as a tough enemy because just of how fast he is and how he's able to just dodge so many attacks from Godzilla. I mean, watching it, Godzilla just had so many problems trying to fight this guy, and Megaguirus outsmarted him a lot, and so that's basically what makes me think that he was a really tough enemy for Godzilla, especially the fact that, you know, the one scene where, well, one, he stabs him in the belly, that had to hurt, and then the scene where he hits this, I don't know, something, this like yellow prism on this building, and it just totally slams down on Godzilla's face. So definitely a tough battle for Godzilla in my opinion. Alright, for number 1, obviously it has to be Godzilla's archenemy, but not only in the traditional King Ghidorah. I'm talking about Kaiser Ghidorah, or however you pronounce that, from Final Wars. I say that because this King Ghidorah was the closest to killing Godzilla. I'm not joking. Like, to me, this King Ghidorah, like, basically had Godzilla. Like, if it wasn't for the humans, Godzilla would have died. Kaiser Ghidorah would have sucked all the energy out of Godzilla and totally just killed him right there. Now, also, you know, King Ghidorah in general, I guess, would be just an annoying enemy too, because, you know, he keeps on popping up, and it is Godzilla's arch enemy, and, you know, he's just tough anyways because of the 3 heads and the electricity fire that he has. And I would say in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in the Heisei series that he was very tough then too. Like, he actually was also sucking Godzilla's life energy out of him also. But to me, it just seems like in Final Wars, this Kaiser Ghidorah is pummeling him. By lifting him, like, and this is cool too because he literally lifts him up with his electricity, and I've never seen that before, and then just drops him on a building, lifts him up again, then starts dragging him on the ground, making him hit other buildings, and then finally makes him hit this one building that makes him totally open to more attacks, and Kaiser Ghidorah just runs up to him, grabs him, and starts sucking the life out of him. So, and right away, I mean, this, like, right when this fight starts, Kaiser Ghidorah is already kicking Godzilla's ass. So, basically, that is what my number 1 pick for the most toughest enemy Godzilla has had to face. Well, thanks for watching. I know there's plenty other monsters that are tough, but just leave in the comments below of what monsters you thought were tough for Godzilla to face, and that's it. So, thanks for watching, and stay big, G-fans.